Hey, Sunny, how are you?
Excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, and I have to tell you, you look amazing. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. I am feeling accomplished. I it's this it didn't hit in. I mean till I was very thankful at the first bite that I took because
Yeah.
it was the first time that we were I was personally trying to fast, and it didn't the sense of accomplishment didn't hit me till this morning when I woke up. So, and I felt a sense of pride that I set out to achieve a goal, and that was the feeling, which was a nice feeling. What about you?
So I think a lot of us, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of my followers and a lot of people were reaching out. Okay, if we backtrack, let's tell people what we did, right? A lot of people were aware, but a lot of people didn't see the first post that I shared. Actually, it was a story and it disappeared. So when I posted this, and I said, who wants to do it with me? I mean, it was a very last second decision for me personally to do this. And I don't even know when Gary announced it, but I actually had a house full of friends and I was having a party and we were drinking and we were snacking and we were eating tons of food that's probably I wouldn't normally eat. And then I got this email and I saw Gary Brecka, the ultimate human, 3-day water fast challenge, December 19th, 2021. And I thought to myself, can I do this? And I'm like, that would be a great way for cleansing and for, I just more or less initially thought of it as a cleansing, right? And I really wanted to challenge myself. So that was the first post. And I'm sure like you, I'm sure tons of people have reached out to you to figure out like, what are you doing? Because I know you've been sharing on your social media too. Um, but yeah, so we just literally finished a 3-day water fast, Sunny and I posted it, I put it out there into the universe. I said, who is going to join me? Who's crazy enough to join me on this on this 3-day water fast? And of course, Sunny, so willing, so determined, he replied, he's like, me. I'm like, that is so awesome. I love it. Right. So none of my friends, no one else was doing this. I was just doing this on my own. And I love the fact that Sunny and I, being in real estate, we got to bond on this journey together. And we literally just started the 3 days. We were checking in, accountability. So tell me why you said yes.
So, backstory, and I have
Okay,
to be
tell me.
honest. So, I have been following Dave Ashbury and all these biohackers for some time. It's been about 6 8 months. A few close friends of mine, or actually one particular friend of mine, she's very much into this stuff and she keeps me up to date, and I was really getting into this stuff. So I was following Gary Brecka from one of the EXP conferences that he spoke, which is Build. So I've been
Oh,
closely
yes.
monitoring him, and knowing of him. So it shows up this fast, and I thought this is something that I must do. But I tried to fast one day and I could not survive till the end. I had headaches, and I basically there was no preparation going into it. Then I got to know of this challenge, and he obviously had a downloadable which gave us some information, prepped us as to what, and then I was happy to have some kind of help along the way. And
Yeah.
I saw your post or your story, and I said, amazing, I have somebody to rely on, so I'm not in this alone. So
Yeah.
that's my so I said, let's do it. That's how we got to the Facebook page, and
Mhm.
connected, and that's how the whole process started.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. It's amazing how the algorithm works because I just saw, and I can't remember if it was, I don't remember how, but I do follow Gary Brecka. And it was a message from Brecka. And I don't remember if it was on Facebook or Instagram, but the
Right.
power of social media and algorithm, maybe someone higher, something higher knew I needed this.
Yes.
And the way I came across that post was really amazing. So I agree with you. I felt fully supported. I've never thought of doing a water fast before. Personally, like I'll do a 16/8, which is 16 hours a day of fasting. And you can pick whatever time you want to do that from. Some people do 11 to 7. I personally do 12 to 8. But you can pretty much do, there's many different types of fasting, but I never thought A, I could do a water fast, or B, that it would even maybe interest me. Like I just never thought of it. But I definitely felt supported, much like you, right? Gary gave us a 3-day guide. I think it was a lot simpler than I thought. Like you read the day one, right? Like the day one, we were eased in with the bone broth or the vegetable broth, and like a small amount for like a lunch and dinner. But were you having any coffee? Because I was relying on my organic coffee. Like I really enjoyed my black organic coffee. That felt great.
I
Do you
was
have
having
coffee?
a cup of coffee, one in the
Okay.
morning, and
Okay.
black coffee, and so I followed it to the T. And about going back to about intermittent, after I failed the first time, started to get more aware. So I got onto intermittent myself. So I
Hmm.
usually, the my window is from 1 p.m. to about 7:30. So
Okay.
that sort of prepped me into getting into this position, I guess. I'm thinking, I don't know for sure. And now, talking about that guide, that was critical, because that really
Yes.
told me that this is what needs to be done, and I didn't want to mess with it. I wanted to follow it like religiously. So
Yeah,
yes,
totally.
to answer your question, I did drink a cup of coffee in the morning,
Hmm.
and then it was strictly, I didn't have any aminos to what they said on the first day. I didn't have that, and I didn't go out and get one, but I was relying on salt and water,
Yes,
and that, that's what he recommended: spring water, something that's clean,
that's
and
right.
so that's what I was relying on.
And you told me you were doing the Himalayan salt, right? The pink Himalayan?
Pink Himalayan salt, and the first day I also took elementi, which is again, uh, you know zero everything. So it was good. It just tastes good. A
Yeah.
grapefruit flavor.
I have
uh,
not tried that. I've heard of
that's
it, but I've not tried it.
that's a salt, and I saw many people in the comments asking, and it was approved.
Yes, because anything over 2 calories from what I've read and what I've been studying now with this fasting, so I'm so intrigued by it. So many health benefits, as we know, right? So many, I mean, so many. But anything over apparently 2 to 5 calories will break your fast. That is the truth. So
Well,
so that the fact that you're doing everything with the zero everything is I guess that's why Gary approved that, right? Because I did see that in the comments. He said, yes, that's totally fine.
yes, and again, what I read is anything above 50. So I'm not sure. So
Oh,
people who are listening, please look up
yes,
this information, and just verify if you are getting into this. So
yes,
first
definitely.
so first day, I did the broth. Did you? For
I
at noon, and,
did yeah, I did. I had a few sips of broth, but I didn't really enjoy it. So I just stuck with my water and my Celtic salt. I chose Celtic salt.
Celtic. Yes.
Yeah, I was on that actually before. I tend to get, headaches in the afternoon, could be a bit of a dip. I don't know. But us with real estate, if we're on the road or if we're
Yes.
driving, we don't always have time to have a quick meal. So maybe my levels are dropping at that time and I get a headache. So the fact that I have my Celtic salts, I have all the minerals I need that my body needs
Yes.
to be able to sustain itself. And clearly that's all we needed these past 3 days, which is phenomenal. It's amazing, isn't it?
Seriously, I still can't believe that we've done it. And it was pretty amazing, very challenging. People who are getting into this must know that this is not something for fun per se, just to get the expectation right. This
Yes,
is something that you have to be really wishful for, or be knowledgeable, that you have a, at least for me, and you share what you think. For me, it was a fact that I have to, or I am made to do something bigger than what I'm doing. So it was sort of a challenge in every aspect. You want to, we as professionals want to challenge ourselves at every level. As human, this was one thing that I thought I can't be just normal.
Yeah,
And on top, you get the amazing health benefits. You repair all your cells, all the dirty cells go away, and so on and so forth. So
that's
that's
right.
my core reason, because ultimately it has to be why. This is what I thought, is to take it on as a challenge and go through this. My my family was not on board. My sister very upset. My
Oh,
dad my dad is like, what the hell are you doing? You're
right.
gonna be, how are you gonna be working? And then I had to calm them down, that this is, uh this is something that's happening around the globe. About 50,000 people are
Yeah,
participating. So it's a big initiative taken by somebody who's not asking me for money, or is not selling me anything.
that's
And
right.
it's very calculated. I've read on it. I had to, sit them down and explain, this is what I'm doing. So yeah.
That is amazing, and you pushed through with very little support from your environment, right? That is amazing. That even goes to show how much how determined you were to accomplish this. I love that, Sunny. I mean, I know you're proud, but I really hope you're proud. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of myself,
Thank
proud of everyone
you.
that pushed through and did this. And I felt very similarly to you. Besides the cleansing and the benefits of health that are always top of mind and priority to me, right? I mean, but I mean, there's many things that we could do for our health, but are we willing to do it, right?
Exactly.
And I think the added challenge to this going into the end of the year was monumental for me. I think the idea of me challenging myself because it never crossed my mind. I didn't think I could do it. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, but it's not impossible, right? You have to be committed enough to just take it 1 hour at a time. Before you know it, you're 6 hours in, then you're 12 hours in. So the challenge for me and the reward are hand in hand. Yes, health wise. I have a lot of people asking me like, why, and that's why I've shared it on my social as well. I decided to give a little bit of an update each day. Yes, I felt great. Yes. I mean, there's no significant weight loss. A lot of people were like, "Oh, the weight loss." I'm like, "Oh, it's only like 4 pounds." But realistically, once you start eating, that's gonna come back on, right? So it's not, probably not weight that I'll keep off forever, but it wasn't even for the weight. Ultimately, it was for challenging myself, giving myself the biggest challenge, ending the year off in 2023 on this big note. And I think it was really significant to enter. It was like a big, how do I say this? Like a big sign for me to start the new year off on the right foot, proving to myself that I could do it. And I mean, I actually feel, I don't want to say responsible, but I feel I feel a sense of like I have a lot of people messaging me that want to do this again, that want to do this and try it with me next time. So everyone's like, when are you doing it again? I'm like, well, I'm not in a rush to do it again, but Gary Brecka, as you know, he suggests us doing it 3 to 4 times a year,
Yes.
right? For full cell rejuvenation, red cells, white cells, and all the other benefits that it gives. So before you guys do decide to do this, if anyone like Sunny's saying, whoever's listening, please just check with your doctors, your naturopath, anyone that knows your body and your blood and your all your health conditions. Don't just listen to us. And see if this is something that would be suitable for you. But however, having said that, in the chats, right, Sunny? I mean, there were people that were diabetic. There were people that had high blood pressure. There were people with many different health conditions, and they were given the green light to go ahead. Now, it doesn't mean you're automatically given that. Just double check with your doctor or whoever you trust for your health, and take their final stamp of approval before you start on the journey. When we do it next, right, Sunny? Are we going to do it again?
100%. I am gonna
Yeah.
be doing this, uh, to have the sense of accomplishment, and I can hear when you were saying why this was not to lose any weight, or not for anything else, but to just tell yourself that if you set out to do something, then you can do it as a strong woman. And same for me as a man. If I'm focused or committed to something, then I'm gonna get it done.
Yes.
So so definitely, to answer your question, I am planning to do this over and over again. He said it's about 4 times he's planning to do it.
Hmm.
And so it's something that you force, right? This is a pain that you induce on yourself for something bigger. It's
Yes.
in today's time, everybody has access to food, drinks. Especially this time of the year, there are parties that are happening, you get invited, but you just want to put put yourself first and take care of what's for you first, which is your body, yourself. So that
Yes.
is that is the core. By the way, I my weighing scale was about slightly over 7 pounds for me, and I hope
Okay.
to keep it away. But I understand. But yes, I completely am with you that if we start eating, yes, it may come. But the intention was not to lose weight. Anyways, this was
Yes.
more mental
Same.
than just losing weight, because
100%.
we both, I'm sure you do as well. We both are active. We both work out, take care of ourselves. So it's not about the weight. It just, if something came off and we can keep
Mhm.
it off, it's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a good it's a good head start. It's a good way to reset and try something different. I was thinking of doing one meal per day, one meal a day. Except I missed the third day. I had morning meetings yesterday, so I wasn't able to jump on Gary Brecka's Facebook group for the
Yeah.
whole session. And go figure, I missed something very valuable because I was sharing in our Facebook group that I completed the fast, I was done and everything, and that I was planning on starting a one meal a day type of like a reset, right? And someone said, I don't know if you may have missed Gary's thing. He doesn't actually suggest that for women because of our hormones, right? Like we're made up very differently than men are. So it goes to show you again, it's not a joke. Like
Yes.
definitely consult with someone. I'm gonna go back and replay that because I've been in meetings also. Like it's been
Yes.
a busy couple days, but I will go back and rewatch that. I trust in Gary. He's amazing. And for anyone listening, check out The Ultimate Human or Gary Brecka, his site directly, and he shares plenty of information there for you guys and just a wealth of knowledge. And you'll feel very supported and guided with any challenge. You could do the challenge on your own at any time too. You don't have to wait for us to do the next one. If you want to do it on your own, Gary offers a free guide. You can download that and do it, you know, before we do our next one. But the important note that I want to mention is I actually almost thought I would have been doing myself good by doing one meal a day. And it's not entirely true. See
Exactly.
that? So it's
Uh,
very important. Here I am thinking I could have been doing something right, but no meal
yes.
is different than what meal or one meal. Like
Yes.
this the whole idea of fasting is to give your gut, your track, because a lot of people do 24-hour fasting too. Gary recommends that once a week, actually. Did you
So
hear
yes,
that, Sunny?
yes, I did hear that.
Yeah.
For me, one thing that cemented his score was one doctor. I don't know if you were there or did you stay till where one doctor who's specialist in treating cancer patients is relying on fasting and the other therapies that go along, where the chemotherapy is turned down to about 10% to where it is 100%, and he relies on all these natural paths to heal and cure them. Does it work for everybody? No, but that's a phenomenal approach of what our body is capable to do if
Yeah,
given the right things. So
it is. It
that
is amazing.
was mind blowing to me, to where somebody who's a medical professional who sees about 1,000 cancer patients a month is relying on fasting, not only for himself. He was a major athlete who competes and so on and so forth, but for his patients, that are
Mhm,
actually diagnosed with cancer, and he's
mhm,
treating them
mhm.
based on this fasting technique.
Absolutely. Many
Uh,
things, including, even Gary's breathing techniques. Gary talks big time about the breathing. That's
yes,
another level, I mean, it's not just doing one thing. There's many things that you can do to enhance um what you're doing. I didn't do the breathing this time, but I
yes,
think next time around what I'll probably do is I'll start focusing on that and
yes,
I'll start building up to making this part of my lifestyle. That's my
yes.
ultimate goal. But you're absolutely right. Again, the health benefits are mind-blowing and he shares so much with that. And if you guys go on there, you'll join the Facebook group and all the recordings are there for you to go back and watch and you'll be mind blown. Like Sunny said, so much information.
So two things I was curious on. One, you also did the red light therapy, which I'm very curious on. Kala, because I've been browsing them, they show up ads, and how has your experience been? How did you get into it?
So red light therapy, it has again so many beneficial aspects to it. Again, I mean, proven athletes, I don't want to I would want everyone to be responsible and do their own research, but for me, the benefits, I feel have been amazing. I've had shoulder pain, I've had back pain, I do it for my skin as well. So the machine that I have, and if anyone's interested, you can reach out to me and I'll give you a link to the company that I've purchased from. They're Canadian, but they ship worldwide. I have a whole body machine, and it's red light therapy, and then there's frequency as well. So when you're setting it, you can do, there's apparently they suggest for skin and scar tissue and healing, and to help cell reproduction, you can do red light alone and not add the frequency. And frequency is more for the healing aspect of injuries and tissue repair and so many other fascinating things. So with this machine that I use, you have the option of both. Many machines don't do that. It's just red light.
Yes,
So the fact that I get the both, I felt great. I feel great when I use it. In the past, when I've had some shoulder injury, I don't know. To me, it worked. So and it's a constant thing. It's not a magic pill or magic
mm,
anything. It's a constant thing, but the heat feels great. And there's no UV in it. It's very, very safe. You feel the heat,
mm,
you actually do feel heat, very hot, but it's tolerable. You can step away from it. You can be as close as you want to that. They recommend usually about I think it's like 12 inches or so from the machine. But again, I love it. I absolutely love it. I do feel my skin looks feels better. So for women out there, if you want to help your pores and your skin, red light therapy is doing me great. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna be 45, Sunny.
mm, uh, I don't know what to even say. Where to say you look great. That's where
Thank
I'll say.
you. Yeah,
Uh,
thank you so much.
Second part of the question, he also mentioned hydrogen water.
Yes.
Are you keen on knowing what that is, or are you gonna?
I'm definitely gonna be doing, I'm gonna be getting the bottle that Gary is recommending. He's strongly recommending, and I know he doesn't give his recommendations loosely at all. As a
Yes,
matter of fact, he doesn't endorse, and he's said it multiple times.
yes,
He doesn't endorse other companies, but his water bottle, is amazing, and it does exactly what you need. And it's
yes,
it's not like the other hydrogen bottles out there, right? Where they're very thin and
yes,
you don't have because you're supposed to be able to the bottle's supposed to withstand the pressures to create
yes,
the hydrogen in the water. So he's using a different water. I can't remember what he said, what water he's putting in there, and then he's making it into hydrogen water.
yeah.
So that bottle, he presses the
Something
button,
valley,
right?
something valley, Garden
Oh,
Valley.
Mountain
Yeah,
Valley. Yes,
yeah.
Mountain
That was
Valley.
one of the water that he was choosing, and when he was in Vegas, he was apparently using Fiji because that's what his hotel was serving, and he
Yeah,
puts it into that bottle, and then he create that bottle creates hydrogen, and apparently
yes.
that is something that is very essential for the body as well. So I
Very
just wanted
much.
to know your thoughts, and this way people watching can get to know some of it and they can research and see if it's a good fit.
Hydrogen water, I will be making that part of my routine as well. I haven't had a chance to purchase it, but I definitely will. And it makes complete sense how Gary explains it, right? It helps us absorb the nutrients.
Yes.
I don't remember how many times more or faster, but there's a reason. And alkaline water, which doesn't actually make, it doesn't turn your blood alkaline. Right? So alkaline water, the water is alkaline, but it doesn't turn your blood alkaline. So there's a misconception with alkaline water,
Yes.
you know? So, but hydrogen water in general is by far, especially going off what Gary's saying, and I do trust Gary, he is really saying that hydrogen water does have the ability to help us absorb all the nutrients we need.
Right.
So, which is great. So yeah, how about you? Are you gonna purchase that?
I am also going to be purchasing that and going to be making it a part of my ritual, and that's something that's going to be ongoing as well. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. I have a lot of people, like I've mentioned, that are interested. They want to do it, and I get a lot of people messaging me. That's why we wanted to do this today, so we can share with them, what the experience has been like. But take me back to day one. What was day one like for you? Let's give them a little bit of detail. You tell me, and I'll share a little bit about my day one, and then I'll bring it back to you for day two and so on. So, how
So
did you really feel day one?
day one, you're all excited, right? It does not hit you till, because I start eating at around 1 o'clock. So it does not hit you till about 4, 5 o'clock.
Hmm.
But the bone broth, I would say, supported me. So I thought, uh, day one, yes, there were food, cravings and so on and so forth, that I was hungry per se, but it wasn't so difficult to what I, because I gave up one time when I started to fast. This was just on my own. So I
Hmm.
thought I was better prepared or equipped to how my day one was. That was, so, it was basically lots of water. He recommended 3 liters. I was drinking close to four. I am usually in the 3 to 4 liter range.
Hmm.
Uh, a couple of bone broths also helped. So it wasn't the worst day one.
Hmm.
That was my day one. What about you?
But tell me, how did you sleep day one?
Uh, Sleep all days was not the best. To uh, he mentioned that sleep the next day it would be 4K vision and you would be feel amazing next morning. It
Mhm.
wasn't the case for me. I am not a big sweet tooth guy, or I don't go for muffins and stuff like that, but somehow I was dreaming of a muffin, a chocolate muffin, which is so surprising, because I can't remember when I have had a full muffin just by myself.
That is so funny. Isn't that
So that was,
amazing?
yeah, that's the body
Right.
saying, where the hell is the sugar that I get, usually, or something.
That is really funny. That's
But
something
that,
interesting.
and all I could envision, is a steak. That's the steak and something sweet. That's what and so, this was all subconscious. I'm still sleeping,
Oh
and
my gosh.
so this was
That
my
is
day
so
one.
funny. Okay.
During the day and while sleeping. How about
Okay.
you?
And what about, sorry, just to ask, so sleeping wasn't the best. You were having some cravings, and then did you have any headaches day one?
No, I asked. No headache day one. No.
Okay. Okay. All right. For me, for day one, like you do the fasting. I stopped my last meal at around 6:45. So I didn't really feel hungry that night, because I typically stop eating, right? But I did start my clock, my 72-hour clock at 7 p.m. That's why we ended yesterday at 7 p.m. Some people carried it over until the morning, but those people eat in the morning, right? So it's a little bit different for them.
Yes.
So 7 p.m. was my last meal. I didn't feel anything that night. I felt like slept normal, and then the next morning was fine because I don't typically eat until noon.
Yes.
But yeah, you know what? You start to get hungry, even with intermittent fasting. Like I do tend to sometimes get hungry more days than others with the working out or um so by the time my lunchtime came around that I would typically be eating, it was a little bit challenging, to kind of, but that's where my mental toughness had to come in. Like, it's like, well, you're doing this for a reason. This is just a typical one day. It's not really 24 hours until you hit your 7 p.m. So let's go. So I thought to myself, okay, it's only a few hours from noon until 7 p.m. I can do this. That was my first train of thought. Like, it's only a 7 hour window that's different for me. So I occupied myself. I didn't get headaches again because my Celtic water, my
Yes.
Celtic salt,
Yes.
right, with the water does help me. Like I mentioned, I previously done the salt water, and I love it. It gets rid of my headaches in the afternoon. And I attribute it to the Celtic salt. I didn't have a lot of bone broth like he suggested day one. I had like a little bit of a sip and I was kind of sipping until about three or four. But I didn't even have a cup of bone broth really. And it was the organic bone broth. Um, and then 7 p.m. came and I was like, oh my God, that was a full 24 hours. Like, I can't believe it. Yes, it was hard. You made me laugh, Sunny, because we were talking about our families eating in the kitchen. Like I really avoided my kitchen. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't make anyone dinner. I'm like, nope, you can make it.
So
Right? So that was really my day one. I avoided the kitchen. I occupied myself. I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was gonna be hangry. Okay, I don't know
yes.
about you. I thought I was gonna be hangry. I was like joking about it. I'm like, I better try to stay put and try to work from home for these 3 days. I had a mental forecast. I'm like, let me rearrange my schedule when I decided to do the challenge. Let me try to focus everything working from home. I managed very well, actually was even busier because I was able to do more, get more done with less driving time. So it worked out. I slept like a baby. I thought by midnight I was going to need a midnight snack, which I typically don't do anyways, but I thought, I wonder how I'm going to go to bed. I wonder if I'm going to be able to do this. Slept like a baby. That
That's
was my
awesome.
day one. So now tell me about your day two. How did you wake up?
Uh, uh, Day two, I woke up okay. I he get again credit is due to Gary, where he said just pull back from day two because you've already been in a fasting state. So don't go out and work out like crazy, or just be mindful of it. So I woke up. It was not 100%, but again, you pull through. You. It was. I was starting to feel the hunger take the toll, but as soon
Mhm.
as the water and the salt component hits your system, then the cravings start to go away.
Yeah.
So again, the most challenging part for me, I was in the office just like you were working from home, so I was in one place, so I was religiously drinking the water and everything was smooth until the culture in my home is everybody has dinner together and everybody's eating and I'm not eating, and I can feel different smells, different food that's going.
Yes.
That was very, very challenging.
Yes. Yeah, I
And
agree.
second, the nighttime, again, new dessert, tiramisu is what I'm craving with the steak. Again, very indifferent. I would not go out and get a dessert, or even if after a
Right.
meal, I would not call for it. But, the sleep component was slightly better than the first. Than the first day.
Okay. Okay, you
And
were really
du-
funny.
yeah, during the day, I was busy, and I kept myself busy with whatever work that I
Yeah.
was doing in the office. So it was okay. Just
Yeah.
7 o'clock onwards or 6 o'clock onwards, that was slightly challenging till you go to bed. Like you mentioned, once your cycle is over, your biological clock turns off, and there's no food. Then you don't expect food after
Yeah.
7, 8:30,
Yeah.
7. 48, whatever may be the case. How was
Yeah.
your day 2?
So my day two was, I felt very proud. I didn't know what to expect for day two. So I went in there just having the right mindset of, okay, yes, I already feel very proud accomplishing 24 hours. I thought that was a big deal because Gary even said 70% of people drop off,
Yes.
70%. And I'm like, there's no way. When I heard that, that kind of gave me another thought of it. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to stop, right? And I don't want to be in the 70% percentile of during this challenge.
You messaged me as well. We are in the top 30 now that we've been at this. That was amazing because we that's the kind of motivation that is needed from the peer group or the support group, right?
I agree. I agree big time. I woke up a day two, same thing, occupied myself, super, super busy with work. And thankfully, I felt like I probably did a little bit extra work to get my mind off of things. 1 second, Sunny. Um, I don't want to die on you here. Hold on. But yeah, so day two was better than expected, but I could have given myself so many reasons to quit. Um, I didn't get headaches. I was a little bit more hungry, but I was also irritable because I feel like the habit of eating is
Exactly.
what I was missing more than the actual food. I don't even know how to like it makes it's so weird to say it that way, but we're so used to automatically it's part of our life.
Yes.
So to stop eating, it's not necessarily what I was missing, it's just the action of food.
Right.
And it's like and then when I would think about it and think about what my body is going through and the autophagy that, Gary talks about and all the benefits, again, I had that goal in mind, and that was stronger than the habit of going to food.
Yeah.
That was my mindset, right? I had to really give myself, a measuring table to see, okay, why are you doing this? Like I had to check with myself mentally because I kept saying to myself, oh my God, if I reach 48 hours, I won't believe that I did this. Like I can't believe that I did this. So 48 hours came and my family, like much like yours, is like, okay, you did 48 hours. You don't need to do more. Just you could stop here. You accomplished so much. And I almost gave. I almost broke. I really did. I almost was like, wow, I already superseded my expectations with my goal, but um I was feeling pretty good and I thought to myself, I can do this. Let's just focus on another few hours.
Right.
And before you know it, 10 o'clock came, and nighttime to get to bed. And I'm like, there's no way I'll be able to go to 72 hours. I mean, I was thinking positive, but in my mind, I had a little bit of
Yeah.
doubt, right?
Yes.
Because I'm like, can I do this? Can I do the entire 72 hours? So 1 hour at a time, I was giving myself baby steps, to achieve it. Your support, our accountability to one another has really, really helped. I right? How was it for you?
Abs-
Because for me, it was very important for
It,
day one,
it's
two, and three.
it was very, very, very
Okay.
necessary. Anybody that's actually doing it should have somebody that they can lean on who's going through a similar journey, because even a little message like I mentioned, you saying that now, Sunny, we are in the top 30 because bunch of people have bailed out, and
Yeah,
people were getting into the comment section and saying we couldn't go through this and that, and mostly other people were supporting and encouraging them, you can always do it the next time, and so on. So it has happened. A friend of mine who actually joined, she they came off very quickly as well on the first day.
I
uh,
see. Mhm.
so I highly recommend getting support or somebody that's going to be doing this with you or is
Yeah,
keeping you in check is a big blessing.
I agree. I agree. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful to you, to Gary for giving us the support to literally push through this, take the challenge on, push through this and see it through because we did. You
Yes,
did,
we
right?
did.
So that was day 2, and then day 3, I didn't
Oh,
feel any hunger. How was your day 3? How did you
my
wake up?
day,
Honest.
my day three was terrible actually.
Oh, no,
It
tell us
was
about it. Tell us.
so so the first day and day two, I was in the office, so I was at a desk working, doing my regular thing. Day three, I actually had to see somebody, a client of mine that was an hour and a half away, and I had to see them. Uh,
Mm,
you know, so I, took the drive, and I see massive billboards calling out. Those are food billboards calling out to me. I mean, I woke up. Let's recap and say I
yeah,
woke up slightly weak. I usually am a early riser, so I get up 5 o'clock usually on my regular if it's no fast. I set my alarm to about 6 o'clock, and I was still in bed till about 6:45.
okay,
So I
got
was at my lowest, if that's the right word, to not like it was hunger per se or anything. I was just
week? Was
mentally,
it week?
mentally, I was not there. I
Okay.
could just lay in bed kind of deal. Then I, of course,
Mm,
I have, you have your own duties to do, and I just wanted to get up and get going with it.
right.
And so it was challenging for me the day three, because all billboards, my clients thankfully were very thoughtful. They had, done all this prep for me to show up, and when I told them that this is what I'm doing, they were very understanding, and they said, we
Wow,
support you.
that's
And
amazing.
so on the way back also, it was, I got off my water because I could not be stopping to use the restroom. So that also, but I then the headaches occurred, and then I, with the
Mm,
salt coming back into the picture, I could fix it and pull
okay.
through. Then, the last few hours again, I got home, and there was cooking happening, and that was again difficult till eventually 6:30 onwards. I knew now I'm close, so everything started to normalize. Then if it was, I could have pushed more if I wanted to, but then, everybody is like, you're done, that's it. That I said, I already know that's what I was committed to do. I was actually not planning to, go till the morning depending on how I feel.
Yeah.
So that was my day three. If I were to say one, two, and three, day three
Mhm.
was the most challenging, just because of my activity, or I was out and about, and
Yeah,
I didn't give myself the resources to be in my
that's
natural habitat to, have a comfort fast kind of deal.
That's true. I wonder if that really played, if that was an attributing factor because again, like you said, you weren't drinking enough water. And when you're on a
Yes,
water fast, and if that's your main source of hydration, right?
yes,
And lack of hydration can cause dizziness, can cause
yes,
nausea. Like no wonder you weren't feeling your
yes,
best, right?
yes,
So that's a great thing to mention. If you guys want to do this fast, I really would recommend. See, I knew. I'm like, I better stay in my element. I better work from
that's
home.
so
I didn't
smart.
want to be on the road. I really didn't. I thought I could do my appointments, my clients. It's all good. It's Christmas time, a lot of people are sick too. So Zoom worked out really wonderfully for me personally. But anyone doing this, I recommend just giving yourself a little bit of grace. Take into consideration that there's going to be plenty of washroom breaks with the
Yes,
water, right? And you need your salt. That's the truth. And if and the water goes in the salt goes in the water, and if you're not having it, you might experience what Sunny was going through, right? Which is a lot of people were feeling foggy. And I don't know where they were. I don't know if they were not drinking enough, but it's usually attributed to not enough water.
yes, not enough water with the salt per se. Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Exactly. Exactly. Well, but Sunny, I had a great third day.
awesome. I'm happy for you.
I'm sorry that you were on the road and you had things to tend to, but you still pushed through, like which is even more amazing, really. Give yourself even that much more credit. For me, my third day, I think the excitement kicked in. because I
Oh,
didn't, once again, believe it. So I think the excitement carried me through the rest of the day. I felt like, oh my God, here I am. And it was a big countdown for me, right? It was a huge countdown for me. I will say one thing. The hours were going by so slowly.
especially the after the midday, they
Oh
were
my gosh. They were going so slowly. It
and,
was a little agonizing, right? But
and
I could keep
it
going.
and it improved close to 6:30, where just time became normal again because it was so close to getting over.
Oh my gosh, it was really funny. Yeah. Everyone around me was really excited that I was gonna eat with them. They're like, "Oh, good, we can have our normal life back." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, but it was again, um, I could have kept going, much like you at that point. I think you said you could have kept going too. And but in my social media, I shared that I wasn't interested, like we have the holidays coming up. We're
Yes,
having actually tonight we're having dinner at home, but then we're
yes,
going for dinner
yes,
tomorrow and the holidays. It's just
yes.
that's why those 3 days worked out perfectly for
Perfect.
me. It was like we were entertaining before, we're entertaining after. So this was like a perfect 3 day window and 72-hour accomplishment
Yes,
for us both. And
yes,
thousands around the world, which again was such an amazing community coming together.
yes,
I
hundred
really
percent.
do thank Gary Brecka and his team for this. And I encourage anyone who's interested in doing this, taking part in this, the next time we do it, to reach out to Sunny or I. I'm more than happy to hold a group of us together and hold a bunch of us accountable together. I know there's so many of you that are interested because I was individually messaging you and sharing my personal journey. So I'm up for it again, and I can't wait for anyone who wants to join us. We're gonna crush it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take it one day at a time. We're gonna get set up properly, and the again, you guys are gonna feel really, really accomplished and healthy after doing this.
One question now: the next time we do it, are you gonna go the additional 12 hours or no?
Possibly,
Yeah, just
possibly. I mean, now that I know I can do it, I might,
yeah,
right?
that's exactly my thought. That
Yeah,
if I were to just see, and if I can push myself a little bit more,
yeah.
maybe again that's the thought. But again, right now I'm not thinking about it. It's done.
Yeah, right now let's just enjoy the moment of accomplishment.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
absolutely right.
And
You're so funny.
how was the uh how was the meal? What did you feel?
Oh, okay. So breaking your fast is equally as important as the fast itself. Like Gary strongly suggests taking it easy on your system and having a broth of some sort. But I chose to make a lentil soup.
Hmm.
So I made a lentil soup, um, and it was um, it was obviously delicious. I'm a good cook, but it was delicious. And there was a sense of appreciation. There was a
Yes.
sense of, oh my God, I feel so privileged to have food because this is a challenge for us, and yet this is a reality for many around the world. Sorry to change the tone of the conversation now, but there was a bunch of things that hit me all at once. And look, I'm kind of getting goosebumps as I talk about it. But I gave thanks.
Yes.
I
Precisely.
gave plenty of thanks
I for
another perspective, that's for sure, you know?
Amazing. Precisely my feeling. I had the spoon in my hand close to my mouth, and I just was thinking, we take this for granted. We should not. It's such a blessing to be able to enjoy anything. That is, we have everything accessible, whatever we want, and just to give thanks, like you said, exactly my train of thought at that
Yeah.
point. And yeah, but I'm not done. And again, we are fasting. I don't know about you. I've still not had my first meal, so 16 hours, right?
Oh,
So
I haven't either.
yes, so
Wait a minute. Isn't that so funny? It's 12:30. I'm not
Yes,
even hungry. I normally eat at 12 and I didn't
yes,
even think about food.
yes.
Wow. That is
So
so funny. Thank you for reminding me I have to
yes,
eat, Sunny.
yes, yes, absolutely.
That is
So
funny.
so this was amazing, and thank you. I mean, I can't say this enough to that this support is quintessential. It will make the journey so much easier. And it
Likewise,
was
yeah.
just a simple text message, either from me or you, just saying, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? What's going on? What you feel?"
Yeah.
Nothing else. Just simple check in
Yeah.
makes such a difference.
I agree. I agree. I definitely felt accountable. I felt like I was responsible for someone else's accountability. I'm sure you felt that, and just the power of together. I think I think that really I think it's been proven too. I mean, doing it together rather than alone definitely increases your success, your
Right.
percentage of success and chances of success with this. So with that being said, talking about success and talking about, having each other support, guys, if anyone wants to do this again next round, keep your eye out on our social media because we're going to be sharing about it and we'll have forms for you to fill out. We'll direct you where to go if you want to do it with Gary directly, or if you want to do it with us and join our accountability group. I'm sure Sunny and I are gonna join forces again and do it together again. I'm choosing you, Sunny. Will you choose me?
100%.
Okay,
Every time.
awesome.
Every
Awesome,
time.
awesome. Okay,
Yes.
so let's see who else we can bring on board. This is a
Few people have reached
healthy.
out. Few people have
Yes,
reached out. I am gonna be calling them out and seeing if they
yes.
are gonna be up,
Yeah.
to do this. So
Exactly. Let's see if they're interested or if they're actually
interested.
committed.
Bunch of
Let's
people
see.
said, I am on it, and then I get a message in a few hours, oh, there's a party and I just can't miss it, and this and that. So
Yeah.
next time, 100% so I'm gonna call all those folks out next time and
Yes.
see.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do that. And let's join forces. Let's bring as many of us together as possible. We'll our accountability, since we've done this before, I think will be helpful to others that are doing it for the first time. And even if not, even if you've done it before, you know what? Let's do it again. Let's do it
Yeah.
together. Why
I
not?
mean,
The more the
pick something.
merrier.
Yes, exactly. We'll pick something, some nuance which they may have picked up along their journey. So it's always going to be supporting and encouraging. So more the merrier. I agree.
I love that. Awesome. Well, I
Uh,
think it was really important that we did this today, Sunny.
yes,
So thank you so much. We haven't ate yet since our last meal yesterday. Did you tell me about your day 3? You did, right? You
yes,
did.
yes.
But
It
how was
was.
your first meal? How was your that was the question I wanted to ask you. How was your first meal before we wrap up?
I actually had a whole meal which I mentioned to you that I'm going to eat, but that
Yeah.
went out of the window with my family saying, this is what. So it was a light meal, so
Okay.
mixture of rice and lentil, something that's very wholesome and it's very light as well.
Good.
And that's
Good.
what I had. And
Okay.
but yeah, the steak on sometime now between now and dinner. You,
How
you
many
know,
times how many times did we mention steak in our
steak,
text messages, right?
bunch
This
of
in
times,
3
right?
days.
That's
We're
what I
like, we're
kept
dying
telling.
for a steak.
That's what I kept telling myself. I'm gonna get the best steak possible.
You're making me laugh. Oh my gosh. That is funny. Well, Sunny, thank you for being there. Thank you for doing this with me. I'm so glad you replied to that my story and you said yes, I'm going to do it. I was so excited to have someone do it with me. I loved you being part of the journey. So proud of you. We're proud of ourselves and I can't wait for another one.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for you being you and the support, and it was a pleasure.
Absolutely. My pleasure too. You're awesome, Sunny. Keep rocking, okay? Keep
Yes,
inspiring
yes,
others.
yes. Thank you,
Okay.
and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk soon. Bye, my
Yes.
friend.